Hello, and welcome to FxWB New Beginnings Podcast with Michelle. How is everyone doing? We are the end of the month, and we are happy that we have seen a full month go by, nearly a full month go by. And have we accomplished things we set out to do at the beginning of the month? We know that January is the month where everybody has lofty goals, wanting to make sure that they attain, weight loss or getting back into the gym, eating healthy. But sometimes things change, right? That's okay. This month, we talked about perimenopause, and I talked about it with respect to myself and some of the symptoms I've been having for the past, I would say, 3 years. And I wanted to end this series with looking over some of the symptoms and giving some solutions or some ideas or tips we can implement to help us live better and feel better in our skin. All right. So this week, as I share a little bit more about perimenopause, listen in. And if you have any questions at all, jot down those questions on the comment section for me, and I will get back to you and share some more information. All right, so let's get into it. So last time we talked about me having different symptoms, and pretty much I know most ladies who are in perimenopause would have had these symptoms. And what is perimenopause? It is a part of the stage of menopause in which all females go through in their life cycle. We started off with, during puberty, when you first see your menstruals, that is the beginning stages of menopause. It's stage 1, where we are able to be reproductive, we have a healthy body, we may have issues going on with us, but this is the pre-menopause stage. It's the stage where we are able to be reproductive, have kids, and enjoy life, and not have too many issues. But for me, for example, I had endometriosis during this time, and many didn't know what that was about until I really researched it. And then I had a surgery to kind of alleviate some of the pain that I went through during that time. During the pre-menopause stage, you can have children. You could have many children. Some people may not have children because they may be having issues during this time of their life cycle. For instance, I know of more athletic kids. They may not even see their menstruals at an early stage like I did when I saw mine like 10, 11. Some very athletic kids, they may see it until they reach 15, for instance. That can impact their future life. But it's something that we must note in our lifestyle and what's going on with us as we are in these various stages. Perimenopause, on the other hand, that is a stage where we're at currently, in at least for me, but I know others are in it. That late 35, 40s, 50s, when you have the hot flashes, the headaches, the mood changes, memory loss, brain fog, depression, or even anxiety occurring. These are normally seen during the time of perimenopause. And perimenopause seems to create havoc for many. And there are the known or common symptoms that I just mentioned. So, for example, like hot flashes, um, night sweats for some people, mood swings, vaginal dryness, sleeping problems. These may be common symptoms that one may have during this time, but there are many other unusual symptoms that may appear. For instance, we have change in body odor, okay? Tingling in the hands and shoulders, and you never had that issue before of extensive tingling in your extremities, okay? Other things you could think of is like gum problems and even taste changes. Now, some people might say, I had COVID and my taste buds haven't been the same. That's having a virus and it has affected that. But if you're also in perimenopause, you can have symptoms of gum problems and gum problems and taste changes. Um, Increase in allergies. Other than environment that you're in, your senses can be heightened during this period of your life where there is increase in allergic reactions to your environment, to the foods you eat. So you have high sensitivity to certain foods. All of a sudden, you were good eating nuts when you were younger, and then bam, I can't eat this. I have my stomach feels bloated. I'm hurting a lot. I have a lot of digestive issues. I don't know what's going on with me. Dryness of skin or dryness of eyes, itchy skin, another issue. That one is something I've come across. I would say part of it is because of my new environment, but it is also a symptom that can occur for ladies in perimenopause of itchy skin or even dry eyes. All right. Urinary issues. Now, there's a big one. We always need to use the bathroom pretty often. we There's that urgency that occurs a lot when you need to use the bathroom. You may have irregular menstruals happening as well. You're not too sure when it's supposed to come, and then it might come for a short period of time, or sometimes it's for a long period of time, 8-10 days, and you don't know when it's going to stop, right? Let's see. Another one I saw was, brittle nails. So that come along, think about the itchy dry skin, think about nails. Nails always breaking. They're not strong as before. Okay. Um, Always clumsy. Your clumsiness has increased. So for me, when I was young, like a kid, I was Miss Clumsy. But think of you now in your 40s, 50s, and you're always tripping on something or bouncing your head somewhere, right? Clumsiness may increase. And again, this is unusual symptoms. And the information I'm sharing with you is not just I creating that information. All right. I looked at, for instance, this chart that I chose was under weird, unusual menopause symptoms done by med.com. All right. And it shared a good bit of information that helped me kind of narrow down these areas that I am mentioning now. Okay. So, wanting to know more about this, definitely check out amazingmeds.com, and it can give you an idea, a breakdown of the symptoms of perimenopause. Now, there you could just Google perimenopause symptoms and you will get the whole slew of things that can be happening. We mentioned fog already, or even here's one: changes in voice. So your voice might change to deeper or higher. It just depends on what's going on with you, right? Your nostrils, you're very sensitive to scents. You all of a sudden really sensitive to smelling everything in the air and want to know, well, what's going on here, right? One that I normally get sometimes is electric shock sensations. I'm always shocking somebody or somebody shocking me. That's something, it's weird, but it happens. And it could be a reason behind it is that of being in the stage of perimenopause. Another thing you could think of is becoming more introverted. You don't want to deal with a lot of people. You don't want to be out in large groups. You want to stay secluded. That can be an issue for you. And this is something I'm seeing happening nowadays. You don't want to be out there with a lot of people and you become more introverted when you were an extroverted person before. All right. So these are just some ideas of different types of symptoms that may be happening to you in this stage of your life and it wasn't there before. And you're trying to figure out, well, what do I do next? Do I go take medication? Do I need to just leave the environment I'm in and go somewhere else and live? Sometimes that might be a really good idea. But you want to ask yourself certain questions like, when did I first feel like my sleep has been affected? Where on your body do you experience hot flashes and night sweats most intensely? Okay. Another one, ask yourself, when do these symptoms typically occur? Are there specific times of the day or night that it happens? So I know I have a few clients, for instance, before they even work out, they having a hot flash moment going on. Okay. So it's just being able to understand what's going on with you and, kind of track yourself, track what's going on with you. Another thing is, where do you sleep and do you notice any specific patterns related to your sleep environment? Are there any factors that you've noticed that makes them better or worse? So are there any factors that you have noticed makes things better for you or worse for you? So these are some questions that you want to think of and consider when you may be having all these issues happening, all these different symptoms happening, to help yourself feel better, or record this information, track this information, so that when you go to your doctor you could share with them what's going on with you and why. Before I give you some tips on what to do, I want to talk about the other two stages of menopause cycle. And the third stage is that of menopause. And menopause occurs when a woman no longer gets a menstrual period for 12 consecutive months. Right? So it occurs when a woman no longer gets her menstrual period for 12 consecutive months. Now, this could be changed for many, because if someone is having a lot of issues with their menstrual cycle and having perimenopausal, lots of really terrible cramps, for example, during their perimenopausal stage, they might opt in to do an ablation. For example, for me, I did endometrial ablation. That was one of my surgeries that I did in 2021 to stop this bleeding business. Didn't like it. So, but menopause is when for 12 months straight you are no longer getting your menstrual period. All right. If you've done an ablation, do you think now you have propelled yourself even more into a situation of menopause and the symptoms that come with it? So, some of the symptoms that I will mention in perimenopause, they are also found in the menopause time. Okay. When you have, for example, like a hysterectomy, when you take out all your ovaries, all these things can, and you do this before the stage of menopause, you are actually bringing yourself into menopause when you do such surgeries. These things can hamper our bodies and have an effect on us. on us. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have these surgeries, okay? I'm just bringing out the information that, hey, when we do certain things, some of these symptoms that we may be experiencing could have been brought on when we change the terrain of our body during by having a surgery, for instance, or um say for example having a kid. Sometimes that may even change things too. So it's just knowing that menopause is stage 3 of the life cycle stage of menopause, and then we have stage 4, which is the postmenopausal stage. This stage, you want to know that once that year has passed, you are in menopause. After that day that menopause has shown, and which most people don't even know, is considered postmenopause. All right. so and this normally happens a little later in life. Most ladies, they suggest that more, in America at least, that most women past 51, American women past 51, may be in the menopause, postmenopause stage of life cycle. Now, this is not true for everybody in the world. Okay. Why? Because it is also found that some people in different cultures, different places around the world, they don't experience things like hot flashes or have um becoming menopausal at 51. It might be later for them. And it could be because of many different factors. For example, the environment. It could also mean the foods that they intake, the level of physical activity they do, genetics. All right. So a lot of things can influence when an individual can be in the different phases of menopause. All right. Being able to manage perimenopause symptoms is something that we all want to try to do. And this transitional time, because it's a transitional time, there would always be fluctuations going on. And you would need help to understand how to alleviate certain issues from happening, or even to understand where you are in this perimenopausal stage of your life cycle. All right. Things like your mood changing, your sleep patterns, even your bleeding patterns during this time. It's different for each lady. I know, at least for me, I know it has been different, and I'm sure each one of you listening to this episode right now know that it's different for you too. What we need to do is seek help, because why one individual has hot flashes when they're 45 versus some another lady having hot flashes at 50 or even 54, because I know of some, that may be because of a lot of different factors that has occurred in their life to create such a situation that they may be having right now. Okay. As I was talking about different ladies having different symptoms. So, for example, a Harvard Health publication stated that most American women have hot flashes around the time of menopause. But studies of other cultures suggest this experience is not universal. Far fewer Japanese, Korean, and Southeast Asian women report having hot flashes. In Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula, women appear not to have any at all. These differences may reflect cultural variations in perceptions, semantics, and lifestyle factors such as diet. All right. For me, for example, I've never had hot flashes. I'm always cold. So I don't know what it is to feel hot flashes. And sometimes I tell the ladies, I wish I could feel hot because I'm always cold. And it could be because of my background, cultural background, my lifestyle choices throughout the years, because being an athlete since 2002, I have been looking at the foods that I eat, making sure that I'm doing physical activity and being, really in I really look at the things that I do for my body, even my community or my environment in which I'm in, and even my way of thinking, being very mindful of various things, external and internal, to help my body go through things. That's probably one of the reasons I don't have hot flashes. Again, it's, looking back and looking at your history and tracking in your mind, what have I been doing all these years? Have I been drinking? Have I been eating a lot of food going when I go out, or eating restaurant food? Have I been cooking my own food? What is my physical activity like? These are some questions you need to ask your own self to see how it has influenced or triggered what's going on with you now in perimenopause. All right, so how do we combat this midlife crisis, as we call it? Um, so the ACSM, which is the American College Sport Medicine organization, of which I have my personal training certification, they like to call this age, this 35s, 45, 55 age, this range, midlife. And for them, midlife actually is considered 45 to 64. And I looked at this article. It's a September October edition of the 2020 year of ACSM, where they look at a key of successful aging. And when they considered that, they had a little bit of information in terms of how to bring things together to help you increase your physical activity and what is best for you in this age bracket. And for me, I've been looking at women between the ages of 35 to 60, 65. So I like this information that I've shared. But I want to also share with you the other aspect that I found in a 2023 ACSM article, where they considered lifestyle medicine. And I think it was really appropriate to talk about lifestyle medicine in conjunction with what I talk about, the four keys of functional well being. So for them, lifestyle medicine, they look at six areas to improve health: healthful eating, physical activity, of course, managing stress, learning how to avoid risky substances, improving your sleep, and forming and maintaining your relationships. For me, I can equate this to my four keys of functional well being and creating that shift as you may. Looking at healthful eating and avoiding risky substances, I will look at that under functional nutrition. Physical activity and improving your sleep, I put those two hand in hand and look at functional movement. Avoid improving or forming and maintaining relationships. I want you to know, for you to create a well-being shift, you have to have great relationships or a community to be with. Managing stress, key component for me is being mindful and looking at your mindset and resetting it. So those four keys are what I kind of see their lifestyle medicine programming as important and kind of like coinciding with each other, if you may. So what I want to share with you is some tips with respect to nutrition, functional nutrition, as well as functional movement or physical activity, and being mindful of what's going on in your mind and your mental health. And of course, how that is also influenced by the community and the relationships you have. with each other and with others around you. All right. So, some tips I want to share with you: functional nutrition and perimenopausal symptoms. This is a broad scope that we're looking at, and if you are experiencing perimenopausal symptoms, these are some ideas you can look at to get help. One thing I want to share with you for sure is go to your doctor. Make sure you head on over to your doctor, find out what's going on with you, what you want to be able to do to help yourself. How can you be treating yourself to feel better? You know some of the signs and symptoms that we suggested before, that maybe having like cravings, for example. That's another one. I forgot to mention that earlier. Cravings, mood swings. We know that we might be depressed and we want to eat stuff, or we have anxiety and we want to eat stuff. That is something we have to remember is a sign or symptom that you can have during perimenopausal stage of your life. Water retention, so the bloating. Okay, we eat things and now we're bloated. Why are we bloated? What's going on with us? The mood swings, the um even, for example, digestive issues, cramps, low back pain. All these are kind of signs and symptoms of perimenopause. Okay. And you want to be able to, we've mentioned all these other symptoms, and I want you to think of this as being able to look at what can I consume to help me feel better. Now, you might also think of this as premenstrual syndrome, because if you're still seeing your menstruals, you may have all these same symptoms popping up: the mood swings, the hot flashes, the cramps. You may have all of these symptoms popping up prior to your menstrual coming, which sometimes we're not too sure when it's coming, right? So these things occur, and we need to figure out how we could help ourselves. So, one of the things I would suggest is look at eating more whole foods rather than soul food. I like to call it soul food. So, all right, we want to get to eat the comfort foods. We're feeling depressed and we want to go and eat ice cream, or, things like that. Try to avoid eating too much of that. In one of the ACSM articles, they shared the 80-20 rule. Try to eat more whole foods, eat more organic vegetables and fruits. I would suggest that under my functional nutrition programming, that is one of the things they say. Eat a lot more organic, because now you're putting less pesticides into your system, and you're giving your body less work to do to be able to break down the foods that you're eating. So the 80-20, try to make sure that you're eating more so whole foods than eating a lot of soul food or comfort foods, or I would say processed foods. You're just trying to create a balance. Some people live on processed foods, and we want to try to help you understand that that might be harming you and hurting you more than helping you. Try very hard to change your diet to help you feel better. All right, inside out. One of the things, one of my clients, they keep texting me, Michelle, I did the cleanse. Now, can I go back on coffee? Yeah, we need to remember that yes, coffee can be good because it has good antioxidants in it, but if you do overdoing it, it's going to harm you. And think of it as if before your menstruals, for instance, you could try eliminating or reducing the amount of caffeine you consuming then, and that will help you actually feel better. Okay. Foods play a big role in helping your body heal. Just remember that it does. So those are some of the food tips I'm going to share with you. I want to also share with you some physical activity tips tips that you need to understand will help you at this stage of your life. For instance, one of the things that they suggest is multi component movements. When I say multi component movements, so you're doing, um, for instance, a squat into a shoulder press. You want to be able to use more free weights, resistance bands, resistance equipment. So not just cardio, people. We need resistance. We need the strength training in there if you want to feel better during this phase of your life. We're trying to avoid things happening. We want to be feeling better from the inside out. Working out with resistance helps us to stay healthier and feel better in the long run. One of the things I want to remind you, ladies, yes, I've been an athlete, so I've been in the gym for years. But if you haven't been in the gym, I want you to remember that you can also go to the gym. Don't be afraid of the gym. Three things I want you to think of: understand your environment in which you're in. So go to the gym, walk around, see what's going on there. They might have an area, a section for a selectorized machine, versus they may have an area for just hand weights, but they also might have a free weighted area where you can be by yourself. If you don't want to be amongst all the people in the gym, there's always other places you can be that you can feel comfortable in. Don't be afraid to go to the gym. Sometimes, yes, the weights at home can work, but if you're getting stronger, you need more than 10 pounds. Okay? I'm just saying. You need more than 10 pounds to be trying to build muscle and create that resistance level that is necessary to help maintain muscle. Just remember, as we get older, we are reducing in our muscle mass. So if we want to maintain muscle mass, we have to eat, add your protein to your diet, but you must work out because you break down the muscle for the muscle to build back stronger. All right. Another thing to look at when going to the gym: gain experience. How do you gain experience? Find a personal trainer. Let them help you figure out how to use your body the right way. Let them help you with programming. Educate yourself about what you need to do for you. So if you don't know what is necessary for you to do in this time of your life cycle, you need to educate yourself on that. Talk to the trainer. They should be able to help you know what should I be doing right now at this stage of my life to maintain or build muscle and stay healthy while I age. All right? Your workout should not be extremely long. You should not be doing 2 hour cardios. It's not going to work for you at this stage of your life. You are actually creating more stress on your body, and your body is going to continue going in that fight or flight mode, and your adrenals are going to be way up, and then you're not going to feel better. You will actually feel worse because then you'll be thinking, oh my gosh, I've done 2 hours cardio and I haven't lost a pound. I actually gained 5 pounds. You got to work smarter, not harder. Find out what is right for you. All right. One of the things I would suggest is keep it short and sweet. Get in, get out. Have a plan when you get there. Know that we said use multi-component movements. So you're working out 2 or 3 body parts at the same time. You want to make sure that you're working out certain body parts that can help you stay strong. So for example, low back is an area you always want to hit, hamstrings, you always want to hit your shoulders, upper body. So it's an all-round body workout you need, but make sure that you're doing the right things for you, because if you have an injury, we need to take that into consideration. If you've had any medical issues prior to coming to the gym, you need to take that into consideration as well. So get help, okay? All right. An easy one, I want to add a third one. An easy one is stair training. A lot of people hate the stairmaster in the gym. If you don't like the stairmaster, okay, in your workplace, in your home, you may have stairs in your home. That is a training right there. That elevation, continuous stepping can work up your endurance as well as the strength in your quads and hamstrings. So, and even your calves. So, stair training is another good one you could add to the list of things you can do. So, what we will say about mindset? I would want to remind you that when you encourage yourself to do physical activity and you are eating for you the right foods that are necessary for you, your mindset will shift. Yes, it will. Your mindset will shift to that of, how is this benefiting me? How am I helping me to live a healthier life? So be able to think through what you're doing for yourself so that you can help yourself live better. And if you join a community, say you join the gym, you meet up with somebody, you go in, you work out with a buddy, or even get information and work with someone, a coach that may have other clients doing the same thing or falling in line with the same thing that you want, guess what? There you have a community to help you attain your goals. So it is possible. It is possible as a lady in perimenopause to feel healthier, feel better, reverse some of or reduce some of the ungodly symptoms that may be happening to you. You just need the help to get that done. And I would love to help you. If you have any questions, do reach out to me, Michelle Bailey, FxWB New Beginnings Podcast, under functional well-being, because that is what I do. I love to help others enhance their well-being through health. I love the community building, but I want to do this through functional movement, functional nutrition, and changing our mindset. So let us do this, ladies. Let us enhance our well-being through what we do, through our health. Thank you so much for listening in. Do subscribe to my channel, FxWB New Beginnings Podcast. You can reach me on Facebook as Michelle Blessed. You could also join my Facebook page, which is Functional Wellbeing. I would love to have you on there. Ask questions. I am sharing much more with regards to us ladies in our perimenopause stage, how we could help each other stay healthy and strong and live better. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.